Lanes of I-70 are still closed right now after an overnight crash that spilled eggs all over the roadway. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. I'm Sam Shocker. A semi ran right into a pole on the side of the highway near Tower Road. Courtney Yoon was there and tells us all about it and what led to that crash.
Aurora police tell us this crash happened around 12:30 this morning, so just after midnight while you were sleeping. I'm going to have my photojournalist Joe Swanson get you a closer look of the scene. You can see crews have set up a ladder and are trying to get some kind of rope or cable across the top of this truck to help move it out of here. They've been working really hard today trying to pull this semi-truck out of the area so that they can clean up this mess. Aurora police are also telling us how this crash happened. So the semi-truck driver had to swerve. Police say it's because another vehicle started to brake in front of it suddenly, causing the semi-truck driver to swerve and crash into this pole over here that you can see. And then all of the contents, or most of the contents of this semi-truck, spilled out into the side of the highway. And if Joe zooms in, you can see that a lot, or if not all, of the contents of this truck were dozens and dozens of eggs. So thousands of eggs here strewn about on the side of the highway. There are 2 lanes closed as crews are working to clean up the debris. And right now we don't have any kind of timeline of when this will be cleaned up. And if you also take a look over here, you can see how the cab of this semi-truck is really smashed up. It sustained some serious damage. Aurora police are telling us that the semi-truck driver only sustained minor injuries here in this crash. Again, it happened around midnight today, and crews are still working to get it all cleaned up. In Aurora, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Courtney, thank you. The woman accused of opening fire inside a popular arcade in Highlands Ranch is set to be arraigned in court late this afternoon. Prosecutors say back in February, 23-year-old Nevaeh Crowley Sanders got into a fight with a woman she knew from high school and shot her inside a bathroom at the main event in Highlands Ranch. They say bullets hit the woman at least 4 times, but she did survive. From there, police say Crowley Sanders left the bathroom and fired off 1 more shot inside the building before walking to the parking lot. She now faces attempted murder charges along with assault. Her hearing is set for 4 o'clock. A 21-year-old man who's believed to be the last U.S. citizen being held captive in Gaza is now free and with the Red Cross. That is according to the Israeli military. Hamas says it released Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander as a goodwill gesture to try to revive talks on ending the war. President Trump is heading to the Middle East today, but there's no word that he will discuss the war in Gaza. He's expected to visit Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Well, we are getting a hot start to the week. It feels like summer. It's going to be beautiful. Joining me now, Chris Spears with our 9 News Weather Impact team. Chris, I'm feeling it. I feel like it's summer already.
I mean, Sam, we are in the mid-80s already at the noon hour. For this date, a 30-year average high for Denver is 69 degrees. So that puts it into perspective for you. 83 at the airport. Most of our eastern plains in the mid to upper 70s or lower 80s. High country, Eagle, 74 degrees. It is 59 at Leadville at 10,000 feet. So some very warm air over the state. We also have some 80s out there on the western slope. Speaking of the western slope, you also have some wind to contend with today. It is quite windy, especially in this northwestern corner. You have sustained speeds 15 to 25. At times you're gusting as high as 35 to 45 miles per hour. And that wind will just become more widespread as we go through the first part of this week. Here's your radar right now. Just a couple of little clouds passing through northwestern Colorado. It is dry statewide, and it's really dry all across the central Rocky Mountain region for the next couple of days. The story is this: maybe a slight chance for a gusty storm, but otherwise just hot for mid-May. 87 today, Sam. That's only a few degrees from tying a record. We'll see how long this lasts in the full forecast coming up.
Chris, thank you. The newest executive order just signed this morning aims to get U.S. prescription drug prices as low as those in other countries. President Trump's order sets a 30-day deadline for drug makers to lower drug costs in the U.S. or face new limits over what the government will pay. It also calls on the health department to broker new price tags for drugs. Public health agency leaders will start meeting with drug companies to offer new prices over the next month. Drug makers argues threats to their profits could impact research to develop new drugs. While those prices might be cut, House Republicans are still considering shaking up Medicaid. The bill released yesterday includes stricter eligibility checks, new work requirements for adults without dependents, and cuts to federal funding for states that cover residents living in the U.S. illegally. But it does not include some of the more controversial proposals like capping Medicaid spending. Democrats are pushing back hard, arguing the bill could strip health care for millions of Americans. The bill will go up for debate tomorrow, but Republicans need nearly full support to push it through the House and the Senate. The U.S. and China have agreed to pause the trade war and slash overall tariffs on Chinese goods for 90 days. Those tariffs will go from 145% down to 30%. China will then cut taxes on American imports from 125% to 10%. That deal sent stocks soaring this morning. The Dow jumped 1,000 points, while the S&P 500 rose more than 2.5%. And as you can see, the Dow right now is still doing well. President Trump's immigration policies and executive orders have impacted attendance in Denver classrooms since he took office in January. According to data from DPS, chronic absenteeism numbers for the district jumped after January. That absenteeism is when students miss 10% or more of the school year. For newcomer centers or schools with larger numbers of new-to-country students, all but one saw chronic absenteeism numbers climb high. Most of those schools show that more than half of their students are chronically absent. Since the inauguration, data shows close to 500 students have left DPS. Dr. Corey Canty with DPS says attendance and enrollment is rebounding as fears of mass deportations in Denver ease for now. That calm is being felt in the classrooms.
It puts my nerves at ease, and you can tell that the kids feel very comfortable coming to school and are safe here.
Dr. Canty says while they are seeing those attendance and enrollment numbers rebound, they don't know how future policies, raids, and executive orders could impact students next year. They say that makes planning the year tricky. The Colorado Rockies are entering a new era without manager Bud Black, who was fired yesterday. He had his final game with the team yesterday, and they managed to beat the San Diego Padres. Rockies management parted ways with Black yesterday after the team lost to the San Diego Padres 21-0. Black had been leading the team for nearly a decade and had a .543 and .690 record, which is a .440 winning percentage. But he actually led them to one last win yesterday, but it was only one of just 7 wins for the entire season. So tonight's game against the Rangers in Texas will be the first one with interim manager Warren Schaefer. First pitch is at 6:05.